Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry for the slight delay, and thanks for turning out today, cramped in the Crown Plaza here in Glasgow, ahead of another big night of World Championship boxing at the Hydro Arena this Friday night, Friday, October the 7th, live and exclusive on Sky Sports. Before we get fully underway with talking about the championship fights and young fighters we got on the bill, I think it's important to obviously everybody on this table involved in boxing to pass our deepest sympathies to the family of Mike Tao. This sport, as you've seen by Ricky Hatton's donations and efforts this week to raise money for the family, is a sport that is very, very tight-knit, and take away the politics and the rivalries, I don't think there was anybody involved in boxing that wasn't absolutely devastated to hear the news of his passing. The community always comes together, and again, well done to Ricky Hatton. Raised, I think, nearly £40,000 for the family of Mike Tao. And there's so many things planned up here. I know Alex and Billy have been on to me about already, and I think everyone has a responsibility to do their piece. So tomorrow, 1 week from the Mike Tao's final fight, we will be from midnight tonight to midnight on Thursday night, donating 100% of all ticket sales to the families of Mike Tao, as well as our little move to help that family, and plenty of other stuff planned as well. And I think everybody involved in boxing has a responsibility to help in some way. So again, our condolences to the family. We're here to talk about a big card and 3 cracking championship fights as well, live and exclusive on Sky Sports. Scottish boxing has always been thriving, and of course Ricky Burns' victory earlier this year to become a 3-weight world champion reignited the city of Glasgow and really reignited boxing again in Scotland. We've been waiting for a long time for an excuse to come here, and when Ricky won that title at the Hydro, it was a very, very special night. For him, a very tough mandatory opponent in KIRYL RELIKH, and you know, it was probably my advice and others' advice, look, you know, maybe we can look elsewhere. But Ricky, being the fighter he is, wanted to deal with this obstacle in front of him. He has a great team around him in Hatton Promotions and Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton, you know, we know all about his career. Now he has a chance to train a real legit £140 world champion amongst his other great fighters in his stable, and I know he's very confident about his charge, KIRYL RELIKH. KIRYL RELIKH is a huge punch in danger, and Ricky Burns is going to have to be 100% on his game to maintain that belt on Friday night. Also on the card, a great lightweight clash for the British lightweight title between the champion Scotty Cardle and the mandatory challenger Kevin Hooper. I know Kevin and his team, Carl Greaves, really fancy this fight, but the word out of Scotty Cardle's gym is that we're going to see a big performance on Friday. And after a couple of very tough fights on the road against Masha Dodd in Liverpool, I think it's time now for him to step up, and we believe he's going to put in a great performance on Friday night. The heavyweight clash that everyone's talking about between 2 friends, DILLIAN WHYTE and Ian Lewison, the Battle of Brixton, or whatever you want to call it. The British heavyweight Lonsdale belt is on the line, and that's a big belt, and you're going to see a very entertaining fight between these 2 exciting heavyweights. As always, it's great to have the young guns coming through: Lewis Pauling, Stuart Bird, Ross Murray, Kieran Smith, and of course Joe Ham, who had a fantastic career with the GB squad. It's great to see those guys coming along, boxing on the big shows in Glasgow as well, and welcome to them as well. I'm going to start with the British lightweight title, and firstly Kevin Hooper. Kevin, a big opportunity for you. You've been waiting some time for this shot now, become the mandatory challenger, and a big fight against Scotty Cardle on Friday.
Yeah, this is a massive fight for me against Scotty Cardle, the champion. It's been a long time coming. I've worked hard in my career getting to this spot. I'm just really looking forward to it.
What do you expect from the fight? You saw his 2 great scraps with Masha in Liverpool, probably boxed a little bit out of his style in those fights because of the crowd and because of the occasion.
Yeah, I mean, Scott's a very good fighter. I know that, and obviously I've got to be at my A game, and I believe I am. And come Friday night, I'm going to be victorious. I'm confident in my abilities.
Scotty, spoke to Joe Gallagher last night, said you're flying in camp and bit between your teeth for a big performance on Friday.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to wish everyone who's fighting on Friday good health after our heartbreaking news last week. But other than that, I'm in high spirits, I'm in good shape, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm as good as my last performances. I know they were good for the spectators, but for me, it's not what I want to see for myself. So I've got a point to prove for myself, and that's putting a show on Friday night.
Obviously, time mixed between Lytham and Glasgow, but to defend the belt up here in Glasgow is a proud moment for you and the family.
Yeah, very proud. Obviously, I'm very proud of my hometown of Lytham in Lancashire, but the blood that runs through me is fully Glasgow, and I'm over the moon to defend my title up here.
And finally, we know you sparred Kevin Hooper before. How do you see this fight playing out? What do you expect from Kevin Hooper on Friday?
Yeah, I've sparred him a good 2 or 3 years ago, and it was a tough spar. You know, he gave me a hard spar, so I'm expecting a hard fight. I'm not expecting a pushover like whatsoever. So obviously I've trained up for what I'm expecting, and it's a tough fight really. So I've just got to be on the ball on the night, and I'm feeling good.
The British Heavyweight Championship, Ian, a big fight for you obviously, but kind of get the feeling an opportunity you've been waiting for a long time, a chance to become British Heavyweight Champion on Friday.
Yeah, of course it is. It's an opportunity I've been hovering about, not had the opportunity before, so as far as I'm concerned now, this is the opportunity I've been searching for to showcase myself on, so you can expect that in a performance.
People talking about a fast start from you, and you want to try and end the show inside 4 rounds. Is that in the mind, or are you happy for this to move on into the later rounds of the fight as well?
To tell you the truth, whatever happens, happens, but whatever happens, it's just like whatever frame of mind I'm in at the time when the fight starts. I may start fast, I may start slow, who knows?
I find a lot of people, spoken to a lot of people who spend time with you in the amateur scene, talk very highly of you with a lot of talent. Friday night, is that the night that the career of Ian Lewison starts really kick-starting and become British champion?
No, of course, everyone who doesn't know about me will know about me come Friday. They'll have seen it, and once they've seen it, they'll say, yeah, this is the person we need to get behind.
And finally, Ian Lewison win inside the distance?
It's an Ian Lewison win, 100%, through and through. I don't gain that away, but you know what, if it comes inside, it comes inside, but I'm prepared to do 12 if need be.
Dillian, we know you prepared meticulously for this camp. I even saw your masseuse flying in from London this morning. And a big fight for you. I know that British title means a lot to you, and a must-win fight for you as well.
Yeah, it's a big fight. I feel this fight I put me back to where I was in December, just in the brink of breaking through to European and world level. It's a massive fight. Winning the British title means a lot to me.
Is it a fight you're expected to win? You put pressure on yourself to win this fight and to look good doing it?
I put pressure on myself to win every fight and to look good. Whether I'm fighting a guy from Latvia, I'm fighting Ian Lewison or whoever, and I put the same pressure on myself is to go out there and put a good performance. If it means knock out our points, I don't really care. I've showed I'm capable of both, so let's get it on.
Ian said prepared to go into the later rounds of the fight. Do you see the fight going into the later rounds, or how do you expect it to play out?
I'm not really bothered, to be honest. Listen, it's one of them ones there where there's a lot of emotions, but I've learned in the past you need to control the emotions, and I'll take it as it comes. Who knows? I might feel like I'm having to go early. I might feel like getting behind my jab. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
We will see Friday for the British heavyweight title. Ian Lewison against DILLIAN WHYTE. Ricky, we know you speak very highly of KIRYL RELIKH, and a big night for KIRYL and yourself on Friday in front of a very experienced 3-time world champion and of course a great crowd in Glasgow.
Yeah, it is. It's funny we were talking about how the family, boxing family, we all rallied together for Mike and his family. We are like a boxing family in many respects. Probably difficult going up against Ricky in many respects, because if I wasn't a promoter or a trainer, I would be a British boxing fan, and I've cheered the likes of Ricky on and Kell Brook and Amir Khan and all Anthony Joshua for years as a British boxing fan. So it's going to be difficult going up against one like Ricky. KIRYL is a very, very confident person by nature, and there's no doubt in his mind, that he's going to win the fight. No doubt in my mind in many respects, but it's my job, to, as confident as him, for him to realise who he's up against. Winning a world title is one thing. Winning one in 3 weight divisions, it means you're a very, very special fighter, and that's who he's up against. So even though he's confident, believe you me, he knows who he's up against. On Friday night, he's trained hard. I think we've got the tactics right. I'm very fortunate that I've seen Ricky for years, so I'd like to think I know pretty much of his game inside out to a degree. I'd like to think, I know more of his game than probably, no disrespect, Tony knows of KIRYL, because who's heard of KIRYL RELIKH, but that so probably makes it more difficult from Ricky's team, if you like. But no, it's a pleasure coming to Scotland. I've always had wonderful support from Scotland. It wasn't just Mancunians supporting me, there's people from all over the country and none more than Scotland that supported me. But it's funny, the last time I was in a British boxing ring in Scotland was when Michael Gomez beat Alex Arthur, and I think I lost a few fans that night. I think I got them back along the way with what I did in the boxing ring. But if this man wins on Friday, which I believe he will do, I still think I hope I have the same love from the Scottish fans I did before I got in the ring. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a pleasure, to have one of my fighters, fight for my old title, if you like this, for my old title. I won from, Carlos Mauser, and I want it back as much as KIRYL wants it. So we're looking really forward to Saturday night, and great to be on such a big show with having so many class fighters on the undercard as well. To be honest, it's a great event to be involved in. We can't wait yet.
Talk about the lack of footage for KIRYL RELIKH. Tell us a bit about KIRYL RELIKH as a fighter. Everyone talks about huge punching power, but obviously more to the arsenal than just that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think again he hasn't boxed at the level that Ricky has boxed at, but I think you can always tell, how good a fighter is when he breezes through the level he's been performing at, and he has been breezing through the level he's performing at. What has given me a little bit more indication of KIRYL is a little bit more than what his record and his knockout record states is some of the fighters he's been sparring in my gym in Manchester. As you can imagine, we have some quality sparring up in our gym in Manchester, and the way he's been sparring with certain people, he's been sparring with bigger men and certain people that he can't just punch out. He's had to show his boxing ability, which is what he showed me, which gives me more confidence going into this fight. He's not just, it's very, very easy to look at the 21 unbeaten record and 19 knockouts and think, well, just a big puncher. He's a lot more than that. He's very, very skillful. He's very aggressive. He likes to go for the knockout. I think that's clear when you see his record. But there's a lot more to him on the knockout, and I think he's going to have to show that side of his game in order to beat Ricky on Friday, and I believe he will. I had to hold him back sometimes because he wants to bash everyone. And I said, listen, you can't just go in there and bash this lad. You've got to use all the things we've been working on in this game plan, and the sparring and the tactics and the pad work we've done. If you do use that, use your brain as well as your heart, I said, I think you'll be the world champion, and I believe that. And I believe he will. He knows who he's up against. He knows who he's up against on Friday night, and I think that will bring the best out of him. Yeah.
Thanks, Ricky. Over to Ricky's trainer, Tony Sims. Tony, it's a great little tactical match-up as well, you and Ricky Hatton. And like I said, not as much footage on KIRYL RELIKH, but you feel like you've got the game plan right and know what you need to do on Friday for Ricky to be victorious.
Yeah, it's always a difficult fight when you don't know a lot about the opponent. I've watched what I could of KIRYL RELIKH. There's only little bits and pieces on YouTube of him, but he looks a decent fighter. He's obviously can punch 19 KOs out of 21 fights, and he's trained by Ricky, so we know he's going to be in good shape. As we know, there is a fight on the table with Adrian Broner. There's a mention of him for Ricky to fight him, but Ricky wanted to get his mandatory out of the way first. And, he's prepared well. as he always does in the gym. He's had phenomenal sparring down at the Matchroom gym. There's a lot of good fighters around Ricky's weight down there who are young and determined, and you know, he's had great sparring. He's in great condition as always. With KIRYL, his record, you know, as I said earlier, is a very, very good record, but he's never been in with a world-class fighter like Ricky Burns. When you step up to that level, I think that you'll realise on the night that, you know, maybe it's harder than what he's thought it's going to be. And I fancy Ricky to box well on Saturday night and do the business here.
How refreshing is it for you as a trainer to have a fighter that really needs very little motivation and is actually the one pushing the youngsters in the gym rather than the other way around? And Ricky is, you know, a real mentor in the gym as well as a three-time world champion.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you've been down the gym a number of times, Ed, and you've seen Ricky train, and he's a great inspiration to all the youngsters in the gym, you know, because he trains harder than all of them, and he pushes himself to the limit every time. And you know, I think up at light welterweight, you know, you don't struggle to make the weight, and you know, I feel that he's a stronger and better fighter at this weight. When he fought Figaro, that was the first fight he had at that weight, he put in a fantastic fight over there, and he didn't struggle, and I really wanted him to move to light welter. He had his next bout down at lightweight, and I said to him, you know, he said, you're better off at light welter, you're stronger and you're better conditioned, you know, and I think Friday night you'll see the difference in the box well.
Thank you. KIRYL, a big opportunity for you, just now 2 days away from becoming potentially the champion of the world.
Кирилл, сейчас за 2 дня до матча для вас это великолепная возможность завоевать титул чемпиона мира.
Да, я очень рад такой возможности находиться здесь и провести такой бой в таком возрасте, в такое время.
I'm very glad to be here and I'm looking forward to this contest. It's the right time for me and the right age for me to do it.
How excited are you to box in Glasgow? The atmosphere, the noise is very, very special. Will that encourage you, or are you concerned for that?
Здесь в Глазго очень специфическая такая болельческая атмосфера, будет огромная поддержка местному боксеру. Как это вас не будет обескураживать или наоборот подстегнуть?
Да, я понимаю, что здесь меня никто не знает, скажем, может даже и не любят. Все любят своих домашних чемпионов, но меня это абсолютно не волнует. То есть я далеко от дома тренируюсь, и я знаю, какая будет обстановка, меня это абсолютно не волнует.
I am aware of the fact that I am rather unknown here, and the fact that normally people, the public, like their own champions, and I presume there will be huge support for the opponent, but I don't care. I am trained to do it, and it doesn't really matter to me.
And finally, what happens on Friday night in the fight between Ricky Burns and KIRYL RELIKH?
Как вы считаете, что произойдет в пятницу во время вашего боя с Рики Бёрдсом?
Приходите и увидите, по крайней мере, со своей стороны я готов устроить войну.
You're all welcome to see what will happen, but from my side, I'm really prepared for a real tough fight.
Thank you very much. Ricky, that night in May was very, very special. I think one that will stay in a lot of people's minds for a long time. Back down to business in a very tough fight, and many expecting you to win, but you know just how tough this fight is.
No, definitely. We know we've trained for a hard 12 rounds. As Tony said, all our preparation, all the strength stuff, sparring and that has went perfect. Weights went really good as well. So we just can't wait to step through the ropes now and get down there.
How, does it take the mind off the focus? People talking about the Broner fight and the possibility of that in December, but as far as you're concerned, no fight with Broner, it's all about Friday.
draw. I've been saying to everybody, obviously for the last couple of weeks, it had been mentioned about, and obviously the Brona fight had been mentioned about happening in October as well, but that fell through. But Kiryl's got my full attention. Obviously we don't really know much about him. I've watched a few rounds. Tony's been watching quite a bit, but we've been working in like, so many different things for this fight. I just know whatever's coming my way, and we're going to be able to deal with it.
Back in May against the Rocco, seemed like a real confident Ricky Burns, and we've seen that in sparring as well in the gym. Really have got your confidence back at 140 pounds and feel as though you're the main man in the division.
I know, Joe, like training and that's going well. When before this fight was announced, when you were mentioning all these names to us, especially the big names, like I'm all more than up for fighting any one of them. But like I said, the mandatory was forced on us, so we're as well as getting out of the way. But we're expecting a hard fight, but we're more than confident in coming through it.
Man. And this is a great fight for the WBA World Super Lightweight Championship, or light welterweight as we prefer to call it, and part of a big night of championship boxing on Friday at the Hydro. We look forward to seeing you all there and supporting your champion, Ricky Burns, as well as all the other great fighters on the show as well. The weigh-in tomorrow, 1 PM at the St Enoch Centre, and spread the word for the weigh-in, for the show. And let's give another great night in Hydro live on Sky Sports. You guys have got a reputation for your atmosphere, and we expect to see it on Friday on another great bill. Thanks very much, and we're going to pose for head-to-head photos for the 3 championship fights up here now, and the guys available for one-on-ones. Thank you very much.